Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she has a remarkable journey from Dallas Cowboys cheerleader to leader of the DFW luxury market. That's coming up next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I'm so excited for this show because this is a friend who's been a friend for more than a decade now, Breah Brown. She's with Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's so good to see you.
Well, I'm so excited to have you on the show, not only because you're a good friend, but your journey is so impressive. So you're with one of the top real estate firms in the country when it comes to luxury. Why don't you tell a little bit about Douglas Elliman?
So Douglas Elliman is a luxury brand in the real estate market. They started in 1911 in New York and have been the lead real estate luxury market brand and for resale and new development. So the new development arm is really what attracted me to the company.
Yes, but you have to know this, folks. She started out as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, and anybody who knows that game, it's tough. I mean, you're so disciplined. Tryouts. You were getting, what, $50 a game?
Oh, yeah.
Was it $50 a game?
Well, $50 a game, and then taxes were taken out. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But the stick-to-itiveness, the grit that it took, and you did it for 3 years.
And, the experience that I had while I was there, what I took from that has made me who I am today. I mean, it definitely, it gives us the ability to understand like being on time and just how you need to be in everyday life and in the workplace. We were able to take those tools and use them in everyday life, and it's something that I cherish forever that I was able to do that.
And that showtime is showtime. I mean, when you have to show up and present to a buyer or seller, it's showtime.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So a lot of parallels there.
Absolutely. So then after that, you did some work in dental, a very successful dental company, retail, a little bit of retail, and then real estate. Tell us about how you were attracted to real estate.
So coming out of the dental franchises that we had, I sold out in 2012 and had very young kids. And took a couple of years off just to kind of figure out what was good for me. Nurtured my network from dental, which is a lot of doctors, attorneys, and then really just real estate. I was attracted to it because I was a single mother, had kids full time, and wanted to have something that I could work in full time, but also could still be the mom I wanted to be to my children. So going into real estate, I got my license in 2014. Started off with a very small broker just to kind of get the experience I needed. I knew that being a new agent, even though I was in the Highland Park area, I had to get the experience that I needed because, everyone knows an agent, and competing with some of the people that have been in the industry for 40 years, I mean, I knew I had to get some experience under my belt. So I started out in a little area that was regentrifying. Right behind Shinsei at Lovers at Inwood, and just started finding lots for my investors and bringing a builder to the deal. I started a development company and would take a pref off the top, and then everybody split their margin at the end. And so I started there, and the homes were like $700,000, beginning. But just building the trust and being able to make my investors money is why I'm where I'm at today.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, the real estate market, even the luxury side, is so competitive. There are some huge companies that are in DFW. I want to roll some video of Douglas Elliman because it's so impressive. You guys have offices all over the country.
We actually have a partner, an international partner called Knight Frank as well for international. But yes, we have offices all over the country, and we are the #1 luxury broker in the nation.
And
by far.
Tell us what separates you from your competitors.
I'd say just, the luxury brand and, every broker in our company, I mean, they're the best of the best. So, working with the best of the best, that they have the clientele that can purchase the properties that your seller might have. And so a lot of times, if your client wants something in Aspen, it's going to be a Douglas Elliman broker on the other side. Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
And if somebody's moving from either coast, they're going to plug in to Douglas Elliman here.
That's exactly right. So I've already gotten a couple of referrals out of California and Aspen for Dallas.
That's
interesting. And so just building that relationship with an agent that you trust in the other market and taking care of the client, because it's all about the client.
And you have some beautiful properties. We were creeping on your Instagram, and look at those. I mean, those are just exquisite.
And I do a lot of new construction and a lot of new development. I think it just was a natural fit. My dad was a builder. Mom worked for Roger Staubach for years. So, it's in my blood. I grew up in a real estate family. And then starting out in my real estate career, because I had a development company, it was just a natural segue for me to just be in new construction. I obviously do resell, but a lot of my expertise is in new construction.
Let's talk about the DFW market.
Oh, yeah.
Has it topped? Has it peaked? Where do you see it?
It's crazy. I mean, it's hot, and I really, in my professional opinion, I do not see it changing. I mean, I see this going through 2023, just with the demand, with, buyers, there's, we don't have the supply. And as long as we've got the demand, we've got to keep, cranking out supply.
Yeah. And you keep your ear to the ground to find new listings before, your competitor finds them.
I absolutely do. And that's another thing, just being in this, market, you've got to, build the relationships with the agents that are going to have some stuff coming. And especially right now, I mean, you want to know about things before. I mean, a lot of sellers do want to take their property to market because they know they're going to get a higher price if they do, because there's a bidding war going on.
Sure.
But just having the relationship with an agent and say they know that your buyers are serious and they're cash or whatever it's like a peace of mind because they know that your client is going to close and not be a lot of drama. And so I think you just have to build that relationship with each agent, and
Sure.
They know what your clientele is like.
Let's talk about your philosophy of working with clients, because I think you're like me. You're always putting the client first and saying what's in their best interest, not necessarily what's in Breah's best interest.
That's right. So I have a lot of investors, and I don't send people anything that I wouldn't put my own money in. I mean, I send pro formas. It's very detailed of why I think this property should be X. Even on when people are buying their own home, it's like the emotion, yes, I get the emotion, but you want to make sure it's a good investment too, and so I always try to, give people that expertise on, if this is something that I would do this, and this is why I'm sending it to you.
Sure. And customers feel that when somebody's working in their best interest.
They absolutely
right?
do. They absolutely, I mean, and that's the thing too. It's not about, the 3%. I mean, you've really got to look at the deal and understand, because you can really have a bad reputation quickly in real estate if you're not
Right.
having your client's best interest.
That's what I say. DFW is a big place, but a small place, and you can't.
It's a very small place.
You can't go around and cut corners
No.
and say one thing and do another.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So we only have a couple minutes left. Final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. What do I want to leave people with?
People always ask the question, is this a good time to buy a house? And a lot of realtors say, oh, it's always a good time to buy a house. But even during pullback times, there are opportunities.
Oh, sure. I mean, we need inventory. And the thing is, I mean, if you've thought about selling, I mean, a lot of people, there's that kind of gap or a window where you want to sell because you're going to get a good price for your house. Now, the question is, where do you go, right? We got to find you somewhere to go. We obviously need inventory. I think a lot of people understand that and know that they could get a really good price for their house if they sell now. And, a lot of people are flexible right now. They're like, if I can make this on my house and I know I can, then I'm all for it, even if we have to rent for a while.
And we do know that mortgage rates are going to be creeping up this year.
I think a little bit. I don't know what I think on that. And again, this is my opinion. I think that will go up a little. I don't see it happening. I don't see a huge change.
Right.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Breah Brown, you have been a wonderful guest. We're going to have you back again soon. We're going to end with your website, which is breahbrown.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I enjoyed
bet.
it. Thanks
You
a
bet.
lot.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.